What's going on, Aces? Welcome back to the channel. I hope that all of you are having an amazing week. It's Tuesday, and I'm trying to get caught up on all of the recaps. I wasn't feeling well previously, and so I want to definitely come through and get caught up with all of the pop culture nuance, television, messiness, and drama. So, one of my favorite shows that is premiering right now on Bravo, it's Summer House. Martha's Vineyard. It is 12 friends. They are in their like mid to late 20s, 30s ish. And it mixes up a group of just various friends who, have various backgrounds. But the great thing is, they're all Black and they attribute all of that to quote unquote Black excellence, which, Preston Mitchell, who is an attorney that I follow on social media, he denounces that term, which I completely get that. Like, he's basically saying that he doesn't ascribe to respectability politics, right? So Black excellence takes a multifaceted, forms, and it's very nuanced. He was basically saying, like his mom was in survival mode while raising him, and she is a pillar of Black excellence, which is true. So with that being said, I'm living for Martha's Vineyard because it is a place where it mixes, a bunch of affluent Black, individuals, and these are young Black people, but they also have Jasmine and Mariah, who are scriptwriters, who were talking about living in their car, and just a bunch of people with various socioeconomic statuses and backgrounds. Like a lot of the young girls, they were friends through working with the Playboy Bunny. I don't think they were at the mansion, but they were like in the bars. Like they were Playboy bunnies. And I know Jordan was the fourth Black Playboy Playmate of the Year, is what she said. And so just to see all of their, the myriad of diverse backgrounds and personalities makes for a very explosive show. So I am definitely here for it. So let's get into the season 2 recap. So one of my favorite people on the show, which I mentioned before in the first recap, well, I guess both my two favorite, right? Amir and Jordan. So Amir, he's half Black, half Lebanese. And while he's short in stature, he makes up for it in personality. He is, has his sights on Jordan because she is gorgeous. And she, of course, makes it known to everyone in the house, which she should, right? But basically, he takes her out on this boat ride, and it's, really comical because like they're in a canoe, and she's not here for it. Like the water sports, she doesn't seem like that type of girl. Even before they leave, she's like, do I have to get wet? Like, what's going on? But still, she agrees to go. She says that she is interested in Amir. I mean, he looks like a Grecian god. He has a very, very, very nice body. You could tell that he works out. He takes care of himself very well. So they go out on this canoe ride, and it's sweet but short-lived, right? Okay, so they come back to the house, and they have a conversation with our favorite married couple, Silas and Jasmine, who, got married, met during the pandemic. They met, they said, via a dating app, April 2020. And the only reason why I'm laughing, I'm so glad, that they got together because, like I, prefaced previously, Jasmine met up with Mariah in New York City, and they were homeless and living out of their car, which is heartbreaking because New York City is one of the most expensive places in the world. Like, I really wish that they would have drove that car to maybe like Jersey and got shared, a studio apartment or found some kind of adequate shelter instead of being homeless in New York City, because I don't know if you guys have ever visited New York. I've visited there several times, and I have a lot of friends and family there. And it's a beautiful city. It's one of the best cities in the world. However, I could not imagine being that open and vulnerable, um, and homeless in a city that is, one, the climate gets super cold during the winter time, but also, two young women like in their 20s. I'm like heartbroken. I really wish that they would have had some family or friends that they could have, supported them during that hard time. However, so Jasmine and the rest of the girls are, and guys, they're all out at dinner, and they just make a comment about going out. And Jordan already had to set the record straight, because even though she's a pretty face, she's also very mindful of the fact that she only goes out and parties and promotes things to build her brand. And she said that she goes out for a check. So Silas, who his family is from Liberia in Africa, he is extremely, like, a lot of people were saying that he was chauvinistic. I don't think he's chauvinistic. I think that he adheres to the ways that he was raised and his cultural values and traditions. And I think that those differ from American cultural values and traditions. And so they have come to a compromise. But Jasmine and Jordan was, joking, saying, well, I'm not going to have her out, till 2, 3 in the morning, because he complained about that earlier. But he, was saying, well, if a man buys you a drink at a bar, then that's an informal invitation. And I feel like maybe that's not a part of, what they do in Liberia. Like, people don't normally buy drinks for young women in a bar, or if they do, then it's suggesting or an implication of something maybe unspoken that he was afraid of, right? And so, they're young, they're new in their marriage, but I just feel like I hope that Jasmine and Silas can come to a compromise where he, trusts her as they grow older and more secure in their marriage, and um, that she maybe doesn't go out as much, or maybe without her husband, as she grows older. Because, as you guys know, I mean, going to the club, that's my own little Milo in the corner there. His name is Joey. But so going to the club, it just kind of loses its luster after you get to a certain age and maturity level, right? So they can, find that compromise within themselves. So we are introduced to Phil in this second episode. Phil comes in, and the sense of entitlement is mind-blowing, right? So, I don't know if you guys have ever, traveled anywhere in a group setting. And unless you're literally a real housewife, I've never seen anybody be that pressed over like room assignments or, mundane things like that. You're only going to be there for a short time. I mean, I wouldn't really care if it was, if, as long as it was decent and part of the house, and I was safe and protected, and it was clean, basically. But that's just me. Phil comes in, he says, I know that I was arriving late, but I put a note on the door, or Bria or somebody was supposed to reserve the room that Nick had chosen, for Phil. So he goes in, and he is inappropriate in the bathroom. Like, he takes a poo in the bathroom and refuses to flush it. Like, that level of that mindset is so sinister. And problematic, especially for what the show is about, right? It's about Black, you know, affluent young people in Martha's Vineyard. Like, I don't care where you are, whether it's your local Applebee's or, you would never go to anyone's, especially their home, their living space, and relieve yourself in the toilet and not flush it. That says so much more about you and your character than it does about them taking your supposed room. So it's a to be continued, and I'll follow up with the third episode recap where it leaves off here. But yeah, Phil was definitely problematic. So you guys, let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel, and I will talk to you later. Take care, Aces. Bye.